To keep yourself updated, subscribe to Indigo Learn and click the bell icon.
Hello students, today we are going to discuss about syllogism. Syllogism is a very important topic in logical reasoning. It's a very simple and very high scoring topic. All you have to do is you have to remember certain clear rules, certain guidelines, maintain a clear head, and you actually can solve the problems very quickly. Now, what is this whole word syllogism about? I mean, what are we talking here when we say syllogism? Syllogism, actually, if you look at the dictionary meaning of the word, it actually means deductive reasoning. Basically, you are given a statement or a series of statements based on which you have to make some deductions or you have to make some inferences. So, syllogism actually means deductions or inferences based on some other information that is provided. So, in the CA foundation examination or in several other examinations, these kind of questions are given to test the logical reasoning ability of the student. These are actually useful in real life. Please don't think that such kind of things are not useful. Just to give you an example, how does syllogism even help you in real life? So if you look at any of the provisions of law or any of the acts or rules or bills that are framed, how are the sentences, paragraph structure? Some of the provisions on company law, let us take for example, they say no person who has been convicted of so and so offence shall be eligible to contest the position of a director. Now, what does this mean? You have to be able to logically understand what is being said in that particular paragraph. So, and when you have more than one such paragraph, let's say 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs or 2 or 3 provisions or illustrations, you have to be able to make sense of all of them. This is one such example, one minor example where syllogism is used. Now, let's get straight into the subject and let's see how we can actually score in this subject very well and how to solve problems in a very easy, simple and fast manner. So, what are the examples of syllogism, right? So, let us take 2 or 3 examples to understand this in slightly more detail. One, let us imagine there is a statement which is given to you, which is all cats are animals. Now, this is a statement which says there is a set called cats, they are here, there is a set called animals, they are here, and all these cats belong to this group called animals. So, this is a subset, this is a superset. Now, one key and important point, students, that you should not make a mistake in the examination or anytime when you're trying to solve a problem of syllogism is, please do not get into the real meanings of the sentences or words or objects or alphabets, whatever are given, because all cats are animals is actually a very real world statement. But in the examination, you're actually given statements that are not true in the real world. For example, they actually make statements like all animals are cats. For sure, we know that all animals are not cats. There are some animals which are tigers, lion, whatever, elephant, giraffe, or whichever one. But for the purpose of this examination, please do not get into real life meanings. Just concentrate on what is said in the statement and identify the objects as a set, superset, or an intersection or a union or something like that. Now, why I am using these words set, superset, intersection, union, you will understand slowly as we progress further. Now, this is one statement which is all cats are animals. Now, what does this mean? Cats is a subset, animals is a superset, and cats belongs to this set. That is, cats is inside this entire group called animals. Is there any cat which is outside this group called animals? No. So, animals is the bigger set and cats is the smaller set. Now, based on this, can you make any inferences? Yes, you can make inference, which is that there are cats, all cats are inside this group called animals, and there is no cat which is not an animal. Correct? Because what is said, all cats are animals. Correct? So, this is one particular inference that can be drawn. Now, there are other types of statements which are given in examinations, which is let us take same example and try and see what those other kind of statements are. Some cats are animals. Now, this is a slight variation from the previous example that we had given. There are some cats, there are animals, some of these cats are animals. Now, what does this mean? This actually means that there is an intersection. That is, there is a group called animals, there is a group called cats, there are some which are here in between. Those cats are animals and there are some which may be outside. Now, please pay attention to this particular point, students. There are some cats which may be, there is a possibility. So, this shaded region that you see, right, that is certain because the statement says there are some cats which are animals. The statement has never said or nowhere has it indicated with certainty that there are some cats which are not animals. It is just a possibility. So, this non-shaded area of cats that you are seeing, the value of that is either 0 or greater than 0. but there is no certainty that it is either 0 or greater than 0. There is no certainty in either of those assumptions. So the only deduction or inference you can make from this is that there is a common intersection, point of both cats and animals groups, and that is this. Now, let us look at two more varieties in which usually the statements are made. One is, let us take the same example which says there are some cats are not animals. So, students, earlier we discussed the statement some cats are animals. Now, please erase that from your mind. This is the next statement which says there are some cats which are not animals. So, there are two groups. There is this group, and there are some which are very clearly not animals. So, this group value is definitely greater than 0, correct? So, some cats are not animals is very, very clearly given. Now, does it mean in any way that some cats are necessarily animals? No, all those statements are not actually valid conclusions from that. Only valid conclusion from that is there are some cats which are not animals and they are part of this. Fourth kind of statement is no cat is an animal. So, there is this one group called cats, there is this one group called animal, and no cat is an animal. That is, if you actually place side by side, there is no intersection. Both of these are very independent sets. They both actually don't have any intersection. So, they both are completely different and there is no intersection between them. Does it allow us to draw any other references? No. All that it allows us to deduct or infer is there is a group called animals, there is a group called cats, and both of them don't have an intersection. That's a very, very simple deduction that you can draw from this. So, students, there are two ways to solve problems of syllogism. One way is set, superset. What does this remind you of? This actually is related to Venn diagrams. You remember Venn diagrams, right? You used to draw a circle, then there is an intersection, then there is a union. Something I think most of you would have done something similar to this in your class 8, 9 or 10. So, Venn diagrams is one way to solve the problems. It's an easy way and it actually is the most preferred way to ensure that you get the right answer without any errors. But only one issue with that is it is time consuming. Because we are studying logical reasoning, there is one more very logical way of solving these problems. This is using a set of rules. Now, what are these rules? These rules are actually made based on Venn diagrams. I will actually explain how these rules are made or prepared based on these Venn diagrams. And all you have to do is remember these rules. There are about 6 or 7 of them. And if you remember these rules, it's actually very easy. Do not make this mistake of thinking that, this is something that you have to by heart and, it is, you just remember this and then automatically problems will be solved. No, you still have to use logic. But the fact is it actually makes solving problems very simple. I will explain both the rules, but for the purpose of examination, I would recommend that you follow the second approach because it's a very easy way of solving the problem. I would definitely recommend using the rule-based approach rather than a Venn diagram-based approach. However, if you find this rule-based approach tough, we will also discuss the Venn diagram-based approach based on which you can solve this problem.